Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how you can dock and of course undock the trailer with an animation. So let's go. First of all, let's take a look on the truck and the trailer itself. I import both of them with the vehicle import tutorial, of course, link is in the description. So we start with a static mesh, just the trailer without the wheels and anything else. And we have the trailer hold, which is just a static mesh as well, which can lift up the trailer later. First of all, let's take a look on the trailer pawn itself. So we have the mesh, so the skeleton mesh. Then we have the wheels, also as static meshes. The trailer itself. We have the trailer holds. This one here that can lift up the trailer. We have the physics constraint, so you can just add the physics constraint right here. Let's take a closer look on the details. I placed them right here where the trailer should dock later. And very important to set the angular limits, that you have the swing one motion to limited and the rest should be locked. Then as a child we have a box collision that I called trigger. And of course we have the trailer bottom, so also a static mesh. And then from the parent class, the vehicle movement component, since this is a child class of the vehicle advanced pawn. Also I add up some variables, the truck as a truck pawn object reference, the try dock as a boolean, the can dock as a boolean, and the clip location as a vector. Let's take a look on the truck pawn. Very similar. We have the mesh, we have the static meshes, so the wheels, we have the body, the doors, and a little special thing, we have an arrow component, so just search for arrow, which are placed where the trailer should dock later as a reference. And then we have the trailer variable also as a trailer pawn object reference. So of course the truck has a reference to the trailer and the trailer has a reference to the truck. First let's create a widget. So I already did that. Right click, use interface, widget blueprint here. Nothing special, just a canvas panel with a text element that says press E to dock. Very important that this is a variable called dock text in this case. And also important that you set the visibility of the text to hidden, because we want to set visible later when we try to dock. So we can close this one and go back to our truck, to the event graph here, and let's fill this with some functionality. First of all, we have the begin play event. Then we want to create a widget. In this case, this trailer widget. And then we promote it to the variable called trailer underscore widget, and then we want to add it to the viewport. And then we can go to the trailer. Inside the trailer we start with the trigger, so the box collision when we actually want to dock the trailer to the truck. So we go down to the begin overlap and also we hit the end overlap. The other actor will be of course the truck. In this case we want to set the truck, in this case the variable. Then we take out the try dock, want to set it to true. Then we need a reference to self. Go from the trailer and want to set the trailer, so the variable up here to the reference to self. Similar for the end overlap, so we want to cause to the truck. Then we want to set the try dock to false. We want to set the trailer to nothing. And we also want to set the truck variable to nothing. Next, we want to create a custom event. So add custom event called check dock. We take out the truck. We take out the trigger here. From the truck we say get dock. So the component, in this case the arrow component. Then we take out the try dock. With a branch, we want to check if it's true. Then we go from the dock and say get world location, as well for the trigger, get world location. From the truck, we go down here and want to get the trailer widget, get the dock text. Then we want to check if both of these are equal. I would recommend to set the tolerance to 100. Then we check again with the branch on the true case. Also the condition. Then we go from the return value again and say minus and subtract both of these like that. In this case, we want to set the clip location on true. So basically what we do here, we compare the trigger, so in this case the box collision on the trailer, with the location of the arrow from the truck here to see if we are able to dock the trailer. Then from the dock text, we want to set the visibility up here to visible and on false down here to hidden. So now the player can see as well if we are able to dock or not. So if the trigger and the dock are close to each other. Then we want to set the can dock up here to true and down here to false. We need a little delay of, let's say 0.5 seconds, and then we call the check dock again. So this function repeats itself every 0.5 seconds to check if we are docking or not. And this will only trigger if the try dock is active. The first call of the function will be down here on the begin overlap. So again, we call the check dock function. At the end, we need another custom event called dock. We take out the can dock with a branch to ask. We take out the truck. Again, get the trailer widget. We get the dock text again. Want to set the try dock to false. Want to set the visibility of the text to hidden. Then we need the flip-flop. We take out the clip location, get out the mesh, in this case the trailer itself. Want to add world offset on the A case with the clip location. We check the teleport to true. So basically what we do is we clip the trailer to the truck so it is perfectly in line. Let's take out the truck again here. Want to get the mesh. Then we take out the physical constraint. Up here we want to set the constraint components. We type in root for both bone names. The mesh will be the second component and the other mesh, so the truck, will be the first component. Down here we want to break the constraint in the B case. Then we add a timeline. This will be the move timeline, since we want to move the trailer with the trailer hold. When we break the constraint, we want to do the reverse of the timeline. So what we want to do with the timeline is we want to move the trailer hold up or down to release it or lift it up. In my case, I placed it at the location 425 and 33. So this is down. And let's say, I want to say 80 is up. So we start at 33 and move it to 80. So for that, let's open up the timeline here and add a float track called movement. We add the key at 0 and of course 33. And another key at, let's say, 2 seconds, as well the length here of 80. So this means we start at 33 and move to 80 in 2 seconds and reverse. We can close this one and then we just take out the truck hold and want to set the relative location and want to update it. Right click, split structure pin. As I said, we have 425 for the X location. This is a fixed value, and then we want to move the Z location. Compile and save this. So we are done with the trailer here. Let's go to the truck, to the event graph, and we need the key to actually dock the trailer. Let's say we want the E key, for example. Of course, you can choose whatever you want. We take out the trailer. Want to check if it's valid with a question mark. We get the can dock boolean here. Need to check with the branch. Go from the trailer and call the dock function on true. And that's it. Let's see if this works. We hit compile and save. Hit play. Drive back to the trailer. The press dock text appears. We press E. You can see the animation of the dock hold. We can drive around with the trailer. And when we press E again, we undock it. Great. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, goodbye.